हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for today's IIYC Youth Preachers podcast. So today we are very fortunate to have with us His Grace Naam Prem Prabhu Hari Bol. So I'll just give a short introduction of Prabhuji. So currently, Prabhuji has been rendering many important services. He's currently leading the ISKCON Dhanbad project. He's also serving as the RSA for North Jharkhand. And when it comes to Prabhuji's educational qualifications, so Prabhuji has done BTech from NIT Jamshedpur. And after that, Prabhuji was very meritorious uh, in his academics. He had secured AIR 2947 in IIT JEE exam. And he did mechanical engineering from NIT Jamshedpur in the year 2008. And then he contributed to BOC India Limited for 3 years. And post that, Proji also established a coaching academy in Kolkata named Partha Education. So he has been the founder and director for this for from 2011 to 2014. So he has benefited multiple devotees over there. And he has also served as director of Annamrit Foundation from 2014 to 2017, overseeing a project that provides daily free meals to many children in Kolkata. And currently, Proji has been serving at Dhanbad. And Proji has been instrumental in establishing youth centers and starting youth outreach at NIT Jamshedpur, NIT Raurkela, IIST Shibpur, etc. And currently, Proji has been overseeing the youth outreach as well as congregation outreach. He has been doing multiple services. So Proji has been involved into procuring land for temple, building temples, and inspiring youths to dedicate their lives to join as full-time brahmacharis. So he has been doing multiple things. So so we are very fortunate to have Prabhuji with us today evening, today afternoon. So today the topic of our discussion is dynamic overall youth leadership. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for being here with us today. So first of all, Prabhuji, we would like to, when we begin, we are beginning the podcast. So I would like to begin with the first question. So how did you come to Krishna consciousness? What inspired you towards Srila Prabhupada's mission? How was your journey?
Hare Krishna. I'm very grateful to Apuru Gopal Pro and the whole team of IIYC that they started this wonderful platform of bringing devotees regularly through this podcast, helping many devotees to learn the secret of youth preaching and many other aspects of leadership. And especially Apuru Gopal Pru was there behind me from last many months to come for this podcast. At last, today we made it. So I'm very grateful to you, Pro, that you brought me here and allowed me to do some service at the lotus feet of all the devotees. Yeah, so how I came to Krishna consciousness. Hmm. Like as usual, like in any other engineering college, the devotee comes to Krishna consciousness, something like that. When I was studying in NIT Jamshedpur, actually I was an atheist. I was a non-believer of God, and I was a hardcore sense gratifier. And but by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, when I took admission in NIT Jamshedpur, right in the first year. Uh, and in those days, there were a lot of raggings in our college. So, uh, so just after the admission, maybe I think after 15 days or so, there was a notice board in our hostel that there is a program in our common hall. The topic of the program is Mind Your Mind, and speaker is someone named Radheshyam Das from IIT. So, like any other first year, it was a compulsory, so we all went there. And that was the first time I had a darshan of a Vaishnava in my life, a genuine Vaishnava, Radheshyam Bro. And then I heard the whole session, and it was very inspiring. In those days, my English was also not so good. But all throughout the session, I could understand the four regulative principles we should not break. This was the only thing I learned. So from that day onwards, I stopped eating meat and other things. And after the seminar, me, myself, and one of my friends, we went to meet with Prabhuji. So we asked few questions. Then Prabhuji brought us in touch with another devotee. He was doing his masters from IIT Kharagpur. He had completed his BTech from IIT Kharagpur. His name was Kapil Saraswati at that time, but now he is Revtipati Pro in Pune. So then Revtipati Pro took our contact number and started regular sessions in our hostel, and that too in my room only. So there was no question of escaping the sessions. All sessions were compulsorily attended by all of us, those were there in the roommates. But the good thing from all these sessions, when I recall now, is that I especially got very much attached to Revati Padipru. And when he would give some instruction or some request, it would be very heavy and very difficult for me to tell him no. In fact, I would feel pity when people will not turn up for his classes. So that would give me another push to sit and hear his classes so that he should feel good. There were many aspects, but the major among all of them was this attachment. Attachment to Revati Prabhu dragged me in Krishna consciousness, and over a period of time, then reading Srila Prabhupada book, hearing him more, and meeting many more senior devotees made me more and more serious and sincere in Krishna consciousness. But the initial thing was not device, not prasadam, not anything else, but only and only the attachment to a Vaishnava. That's how now I'm here in the process.
Thank you, Proji. So, Proji, would you like to share what inspired you to, take up the service of youth preaching in a full-fledged way? And currently, uh, you, along with your entire family, you have completely dedicated yourself for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So, how did you gain such kind of inspiration?
Hmm. Uh, if I tell you that there was this one particular day at one particular time, something like this happened, and there was uh, a sudden change in my life, then that would be a completely made up story. That never happened with me anytime. It was very gradual and slowly and swiftly and consistently. I just tried my best. Only one thing is that whatever senior said, I just did that. So eventually, I saw that uh, when I started staying in the youth center, then uh, one day one devotee told me, "Prabhu, please sing Nursing Aarti." That was the first time I started singing. But after I sang Nursing Aarti, the senior devotees came and they appreciated like as if I am the superstar. I am a singer. That day I came to know that I can sing also. Then one day one devotee said, "Ki Prabhu, can you please go in the outside and purchase something for kitchen?" Then when I brought that, they appreciated me so much. They made me purchasing in charge of the center. I realized I can do purchasing also. But eventually I realized, oh, this is the way devotee appreciates and encourage to practice Krishna consciousness. I should not take these things very seriously. But anyway, in this attempt of pleasing the superior, I realized if I make some devotees, if I do preaching, then my superiors, my counselor, facilitators, they become very happy. So then I started putting all my heart, all my attention. My only purpose was to see a smiling face, you know, on my superiors. I only wanted that they should be happy with me. Or maybe you can say, in that time, I wanted to impress them. So for that reason, I struggled hard and I worked hard and I started doing a lot of preaching. It was very tough for us because we were the first batch in NIT Jamshedpur who shifted to voice. So we were not having any any seniors living with us, those who will teach us how to do and who will guide and who will train us. So it was really a very tough time for us. The seniors would travel from IIT Kharagpur to NIT Jamshedpur in the weekends. They will teach something. But slowly, just in order to please the superior, we picked it up and then eventually the youth preaching started. But now, after 20 years, I turn back and then see, uh, uh, then I can only tell I never had any desire, strong desire that I want to become a youth preacher and I want to bring revolution in the life of youths. But somehow, uh, Counselor Radheshyam Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada, they turned even a garbage into a useful thing. You know, that's what I can see in my life. They developed the desire and interest for youth preaching. They only gave the training. They only made me understand the importance of it. And they only gave me the scope and the field to go and explore youth preaching. And then this is what I have today. It was all borrowed skills and borrowed training. And I nothing, if not from my childhood, that there was a madness to bring some revolution in the life of youth. There was nothing like that. But yes, eventually, slowly, consistently, uh, when I was more and more involved, the interest also started increasing. When I saw result is coming, and then interest also started coming, and eventually I saw that yes, youth preaching is really very beneficial, and especially for a movement like Krishna consciousness, youth preaching has been the foundation. So it is just like, we hear that story, that there was one man, he was passing by a village, and then suddenly he saw all the villagers are gathered somewhere and they are looking something in between. So he also went around to see exactly what is there, why so much of crowd and what are they looking for. Then he saw that there was one well, and there was a deep dark well, and everybody was looking inside the well because a small child had fallen inside the well, and everybody was shouting, "Somebody should save him! Somebody should save him!" Right then, this boy jumped into the well, and then people also threw some ropes and all, and this boy literally took that child in his hand and brought it out of the well, and the whole villager, for them it was like a heroic activity. They literally took this boy on their shoulder and started roaming around the village shouting his jai Jaikar and everything. At the end, when he was brought down and he was asked, so how is that, you were not even knowing swimming? How dare you jumping and, saving the child? How did you do that? He said, I'll answer you that later, but first tell me who pushed me from behind. You know, who pushed me first? Tell me who pushed me from behind to the well. So it is something like that, you know. Uh, Somebody came in our life, trained us in Krishna consciousness, made us the preacher, and then now everywhere people are telling how Nam Prem Das is doing youth preaching. So, but they don't know. Somebody pushed me from behind into the well, and somehow I happened to save the child, and people are calling me hero. This is the true story, actually. But all glories goes to the superiors and the seniors who trained me, and then I'm able to do some service.
Thank you, Proji, for sharing your journey very nicely. And you share very important principle that how Srila Prabhupada said that our movement is a pushing movement. So my spiritual master pushed me, and I am pushing you all.
Correct.
So now, Proji, you have been inspiring so many devotees here in Dhanbad. Thank you so much for this. for your wonderful services, Proji. Proji, next question which I wanted to ask was that you have been involved into so many services. Like when I was going through your introduction and what I have heard from His Grace Achut Mohan Pro about you, so many different varieties of services you have rendered. And currently also you have been handling so many crucial responsibilities. You have central roles in ISKCON leadership, and you are taking care of temples. I heard from devotees of Dhanbad that there are two temples coming up in Dhanbad. So, and then you are taking care of youths, you are taking care of congregation, you are taking care of your family, and you are inspiring devotees to join Brahmachari ashram. How are you able to manage all these responsibilities together? What's the secret?
Uh, uh, so if you ask the secret, then secret is the team which is there with me. You know, without them, it is impossible even to budge even an inch in the services or the responsibilities which I have. So, be it the youth preaching or the donor cultivation or the land acquiring or the construction or whatever it is, I don't know how, but Krishna has been very, very merciful, and He sent such sincere souls in my life. It is just like, that we sing, no, मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है, करते हो तुम कन्हैया नाम मेरा हो रहा है. It is something like that, you know. I don't know. Like I'll give you a few examples. Uh, just few years ago, 4 5 years ago, one devotee came to me and he said, "Prabhu, I would like to take counseling from you." So that time was also not having any counselor. So I gave him shelter, and then I started, trying to serve him and make him sincere in Krishna consciousness. Today he is taking care of the whole construction of our ISKCON Dhanbad. But when he was coming in my touch, I never knew that he would be rendering such a significant service. All I did with my honest, simple heart, I just tried to give Krishna consciousness. And this is one example. Like that, all the services which are happening right now in Dhanbad or anywhere, I am seeing somehow Krishna sent them, and I just welcomed them. That's all. You know, like mm, like my wife when she came in my life. So I just gave her shelter. That's all. And I was trying to share Krishna consciousness with her. And now today she is the number one donor cultivator in our Dhanbad. I never knew that she had such a skills also. But somehow she got inspired and started doing, and then so I can clearly see that she was sent especially by Krishna to do this service. And Dhanbad, I need this. So it is just like if I connect all the dots, what I'm able to make it out is Krishna told me, you just be there. I'll send everyone, they'll do everything, but you just be there and take care of them. So exactly that's what I'm doing. Literally speaking, if you come in my personal life, you will realize I rarely do anything. Only thing which I do is I just take care of these devotees. I just try my best to give my time and serve these devotees. And these devotee in turn, they try to serve different services. That just like my spiritual master says, you take care of people, and people take care of your project. So my 80 to 90% of my time generally goes in counseling and mentoring and guiding and training. And this is what I do. And this is what I like also. And this devotee, when they get inspired, then as a matter of gratitude, they want to do something. So that's how some devotees have become expert. Somebody has become expert in youth preaching. Somebody has become an expert in fund collection. Somebody has become expert in construction. Somebody has become expert in accounting. And all these devotees are there all around. And things are progressing. Really speaking, I never targeted that in Dhanbad I should have two temples and then I should become RSA tomorrow. Like, 5 years plan, 10 years plan from now. There was no such plan. I have a 5 year, 10 year plan for my personal growth of Krishna consciousness, but never a plan of my managerial skills or development of leadership or anything like that. But somehow Krishna is sending all of them, and what I am doing is simply taking care of them. That's what things are growing eventually.
Thank you, Proji. Like a very nice principle you shared that when we take care of devotees, so devotees take care of the projects. So, so my next question to you, Proji, is related to this only. So, like you have very nicely built this team of devotees, as you were sharing, a very wonderful team, a spirited team. So, whenever we are trying to have a team or build a team, so whenever individuals come together, so there might be some differences of opinion, or sometimes there might be some clashes. So, how you have managed to keep the team together? So, what are some essential principles in your life which you focus upon to keep all the devotees together so that everybody steadily keeps progressing towards fulfilling the mission of Srila Prabhupada, the rendering services for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna?
So the question which you have asked is really something very heavy and very, very important. And I appreciate you for this question because anyone who would like to go ahead developing a team, developing the project, you stay in Krishna consciousness for 5, 10 years, eventually you anyway become a leader. And the next challenge, you have this only, you
Mm.
know, having the people cooperating with each other, loving with each other, staying together, and keeping them aligned for an objective, for a vision, you know. And different people are coming from a different background. They have different types of anarthas. They have different type of culture, different type of training, and then aligning them together. And it's not an easy task, and it is really uh, for me, I have realized a big challenge, it's really a big challenge. So generally, what I uh, try to do here in this association of devotees, uh, what I have learned in these years of Krishna consciousness, I may lack some skills, I may lack some training, I may also lack some leadership qualities which are being taught in big, big corporates or big, big giants, those who are big, big psychologists, and they have really designed a powerful courses and how to keep people together and this and that and all those things. I have never learned all those things. I have never been trained in that way. But one thing I have realized that if you are very genuine from the core of your heart, if you are very caring, from the core of your heart, if you're really very honest, people will anyway see that. They will come to know that. They may fight with you, they may blame you, they may criticize you, but they will also see the genuinity, that sincerity of your heart, that this person is not cheater. He's trying his best to manage things, although he's not able to manage. That is lack of skill, but he's trying his best. Okay, let me tolerate and cooperate. Like there is one company called Intel. If you enter into the company, there is a big statement, there is a slogan they have written, disagree and then commit. You know, that means you all come together in the company, they all come together, all the team members, they come together. They have some proposal, they have some ideas. Let us disagree and keep fighting, no issue. But at the end, please, all of you commit to one thing. There is no problem in fighting, but all of you must commit to one thing at least. So then what happens? Even though those who are fighting, they have a comfort that, okay, at least you heard me. I'm committing to your proposal, although I don't agree with it, but I'm committing. I'll follow it because you heard me. So similarly, I have realized people may have certain anarthas, people may have certain opinion, disagreements, and non-cooperating mood and many things like that. But if you sincerely hear them, give them time, and give them nice training, only thing the moment they realize that there is a selfless person who is trying to love Srila Prabhupada selflessly, who is trying to serve Srila Prabhupada selflessly, he has no other purpose, then this person will extend himself. Even though he is not agreeing, he will extend and he will try to cooperate. This is what I have seen works fantastically. Means what? In one line, if I tell you, then there is no shortcut to sincerity. There is no alternative to sincerity. You cannot do this by acting. You cannot do this by behaving in a way as if you are selfless. But heart to heart, you have a desire ki if I impress this boy can do a lot of contribution to my project. If you have somewhere in the corner of heart that type of desire, that person will realize. And the moment person realizes that you want to use me as a manpower, you know, here I am wanting to love Srila Prabhupada and want to give my life for his service, and you are thinking of using me as your manpower. Then this kind of conflict breaks the trust, and then people can't cooperate. Then there are fights and all those things. Many things are happening. So, what I have seen in these years of training and development of leadership, that if you just keep a very genuine, sincere heart, a selfless desire to serve the person, and that's what actually Srila Prabhupada did. He is our role model. You
Yes.
take any problems, Srila Prabhupada is an example how to solve the problem. So Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the West, with all sincerity of heart, he wanted that these hippies should become a pure devotee of Lord. He was not training them that these people will start ISKCON and will have a lot of temple and will have a lot of this thing, that thing, nothing. All he wanted, you become a pure devotee, that's all. Mandir aayega, nahi aayega, that is Krishna's desire. Similarly, anytime when somebody has approached Srila Prabhupada and asked Prabhupada, how can I please you? His simple answer would be, you just love Krishna. You
Mhm.
just become a pure devotee. That's what I have come here for, and I only want your benefit. When people realize this type of heart, automatically submissiveness, commitment, cooperation, this erupts from their heart. And probably I feel in the development of Dhanbad, for whatever insignificant development we have made, this has been this kind of consciousness and behavior have played a very crucial role in developing this theme.
Thank you,
Mm.
Broji. Like this principle which you share, that there is no substitute for sincerity. So if we are genuine well-wishers of people, and if people see that ki we are not, we don't have any ulterior agenda, or we are here for serving Srila Prabhupada, and we are here for caring for people. If people feel valued, if people feel that ki, this person really wants me to contribute in mission and grow in a spiritual life, so when they see this kind of sincerity, genuinity, so then they go out of their way to contribute. So very important principle, Proji, you shared. So thank you so much for sharing this principle.
Apurupro, you are a fantastic listener. I would tell you, you are doing the best service. The way you're summarizing the things and explaining it is really very nice. I should tell you thank you.
You are explaining so nicely that I'm trying to be quite attentive so that I gain the maximum from your association. So Proji, my next question to you, like coming to the theme which we have today, overall dynamic youth leadership. So what comes to your mind when you hear this phrase, this title, overall dynamic youth leadership? So what was Srila Prabhupada's vision on this? What are your thoughts on this?
Uh, Dynamic youth leadership. So when I hear this phrase, what comes in my mind is dynamic means uh, uh, like I was just a few days ago, I was hearing one lecture of my spiritual master. He made a point, very powerful statement, small, short, simple statement, but I felt it very powerful. He said, the hard work is a sign of love.
Mm,
Mm. This, when I heard, it's a simple statement, but I I immediately stopped the lecture right there and I started pondering upon this point. Actually, this is really very true. You don't work hard for something unless you have given your heart to it. You know, like in the material world also, people have given their heart to money, and you see how hard work they do to earn money. you know, so if somebody has given their heart to their spiritual master, If somebody has given their heart to Srila Prabhupada, how much hard work he should do. So when I hear dynamic, you know, then a picture comes in my mind, a youth devotee who is sweating from all around. In the service of Srila Prabhupada, he has exhausted himself without worrying of his whereabouts, where is my belongings, where is my food, where is my that. He has exhausted himself, and still there is a broad smile, an effulgent face in his face, as if he's telling, I'm ready. I'll do more. I can do more. Don't think that I'm sweating, so I'm tired. I can do more. This is what is a picture coming in my mind when I hear the word dynamic youth leadership in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So this sweats which I'm talking, it may not be visible externally,
Hmm.
but what does it mean? It should mean that we must exhaust ourselves. Nowadays, the moment when I see the modern generation who are coming up, uh, everyone wants to be a kind of manager, like even in the modern day scenario, if you outside world also, if you see, people want to make some videos and earn money. People
Hmm.
want to do some comfortable job and want to earn money. You
Hmm.
know, they would like to have salary of 15,000 but a comfortable job, not a salary of 25,000 hardworking job. They don't want that. People want more comfort. You know, that is okay. If you are sick and if you are of age 60, 70, you must demand comfort because you need that. But a person of the age above 15 and below 35, 40, 45, uh, rest is, or the comfort is like a poison for him. However, it appears like an opulence. Generally, what happens when I contemplate why our youth sometimes they look for such opportunity where there is not hard work. You know
Hmm.
why? Well, in my personal analysis, I've realized many times we hear Srila Prabhupada or many senior devotees in ISKCON, they criticize hard work. You know, like that shloka comes, no, the human life is not meant to work hard like hogs and dogs. That kind of pleasure is available even for the dog eaters and something like that. So Prabhupada has literally criticized the working very hard for money. So generally, when people hear this, this is only one side of the story.
Yeah.
This is only one side of the story. So people sometimes immature understanding of it is hard work is bad. We should not do hard work at all. This is a incomplete understanding. We should not do hard work for economic development, for our sense gratification. That's what Srila Prabhupada meant. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, we must burn ourselves. We must exhaust ourselves, in the service of our spiritual master. You know, in the folio, if you type a word, yes, sir, if you type a word, yes, sir, in the folio, then in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada has used this word only at one place. There is one shloka, Kardamuni is telling, Yetavatyayiva Shushrusha Karya Pitari Putrikai Badhamiti Anumanyeta Gaurvena Gurur Vacha. एतावत्यैव शुश्रूषा जैसे ही सुनता है ना ये शिष्य कार्य पितरी पुत्र कहीं a father or a spiritual master has entrusted some service upon the disciple of the son. कार्य पितरी पुत्र कहीं बाढ़मिति. This बाढ़मिति is the Sanskrit of yes sir. you know बाढ़मिति अनुमन्यता. This disciple has no option then other than saying yes sir.
Hmm.
He cannot say, oh, मुझे ही करना पड़ेगा क्या? अच्छा कोई और नहीं है क्या? अच्छा इसको थोड़ा दिन बात कर सकते हैं क्या? अब मेरे से नहीं होगा. No option,
Hmm.
बाढ़मिति अनुमन्यता गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः. You know, with great determination, he should jump from his seat to fulfill the mission of his spiritual master or the instruction which he has received. This is the mood and this is the behavior is expected from Srimad Bhagavatam when it says a dynamic youth leadership, you know.
Hmm.
And you read the purport of this verse. What a classic! and wonderful, beautiful purport. This is one of my favorite purport in Srimad Bhagavatam. Small purport, Srila Prabhupada writes. But what he writes, Srila Prabhupada writes, a disciple, he breathes, he lives for the cause of spiritual master. If he has no mission in his life for the spiritual master, he has no reason to live in this world. Then why are you living? You are breathing only to fulfill the cause of your spiritual master. You know, and then he says in the purport, instruction of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciple. Just as life and soul cannot be separated, similarly, the instruction cannot be separated from the disciple. Can you imagine? And Srila Prabhupada has the right to write like this because he has done it. He has done it. And he has the right to write like that. So beautiful purport. So a disciple or a youth, he must be hunting for the services. He must be hunting. He must be haunted by the instruction of the spiritual master. You know, this is what comes in my mind when it comes dynamic youth leadership. If somebody is living in a very comfortable zone, that's a very dangerous zone. After completing one's basic sadhana, um, he should be enveloped by the anxieties. Now what next? What am I doing today to please Srila Prabhupada? If there is nothing, there is no dearth of services. If there is nothing, he can take some books and go in the street and start distributing Srila Prabhupada book. Even that has very high potential to, you know, make him a pure devotee. So this is what comes in my mind when I hear dynamic youth leadership.
Amazing. So, dynamic youth leadership begins when a youth gives his heart to Acharya and his spiritual master. So, and very beautiful purport, Proj, you shared, and the sheer conviction and the spirit with which you were sharing. So, I can honestly say and feel that you have given your heart to Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master and your seniors. So that's why you are extending yourself so much and seeing your example, the devotees there. So they are also getting enthused and they are also extending themselves. And very beautifully, Projo, you explained that dynamic means that he should be sweating and he should be still so enthusiastic that please tell me what is the next service. So this is, and this can only be possible if one's heart has become charmed by some Vaishnava. One's heart has become charmed by Srila Prabhupada, and one is filled with gratitude that how much I have received from Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's representatives in my life. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very profound. Proji, next question to you in this regard is that Srila Prabhupada, he especially, like when Prabhupada started the mission, so Prabhupada started preaching to the young people. The hippies were the young generation. So Prabhupada's emphasis also always has been on youth outreach especially. So, and Prabhupada especially wanted to target them because he wanted to create leaders. So he had this vision, that youths are the leaders for tomorrow. So now, in order for our youths to become leaders for tomorrow, so what are certain areas in which you feel that youths should definitely be given training so that they become wonderful leaders and they are able to contribute for ISKCON and for the world? What are some those areas in which they should be given training?
Uh, in my all these years of Krishna consciousness, whatever little bit experience I have got, I have understood if youths in the beginning phase of their Krishna consciousness, if they are not trained well, then later on their focus gets diverted from the
Mhm.
pure devotional service. Their focus becomes improvement of management, or their focus becomes justice in ISKCON, or something like this. And it is so disturbing to the mind. Person loses his peace and happiness. However, practicing Krishna consciousness should give one so much of relief. He should not find such relief anywhere in the world. But if focus gets diverted anywhere, The moment you divert your focus from pure devotional service, you will fall trap in Maya. And
Mhm.
then I have seen many people, many senior devotees I have seen leaving Krishna consciousness for some managerial issues or for this or for that. You know, we come to Krishna consciousness with so much of desire to become a pure devotee. But over the period of time, yes, there will be some mismanagement. There are many disformities and many things are there which needs to be developed and improved. But there is an art how to do it, you know. Just like a lotus, it stays in the mud and still it maintains its sanctity. Similarly, while being in this world, there is always going to be negativity, there are always going to be problems, this, that, and you have to face it, you have to go through it. But one should not see oneself, uh, one should not identify oneself with that management. You
Mhm.
know, one very senior devotee was telling, my project success is not my success. My project success is not my success. Generally, we attach our project success with my success. This means if I'm able to make three temples, that means I am a advanced devotee. You know, that's a illusion. Yes, many people will come and clap for you, and they will put you on the top that you have made three temples, you have done such a big service. But if you take them seriously and start thinking yourself to be a pure devotee just because you have made three temples, or you are very expert manager, or you are very powerful leader, then that's a great illusion. Mhm. Our attachment to Krishna, our love for Krishna, our devotional heart is different, and our leadership capability, management, these that are all, that is one another aspect. So one may be competent, may not be competent, but in any case, one can have a very very neat and clean character. So these two aspects, that is character and the competence, these two aspects needs to be focused. But before competence comes character. So first 4 to 5, 6 years, there should be intense training and focus only on the character. Instead of taking any managerial post, position, leadership, this, that, all those things. What I feel in the beginning, 4 to 5 years is a time when the youth is ready to listen, when the youth is ready to take all the instructions very seriously, they are ready to practice in their personal life, apply, and make themselves an improved version of themselves. But as the time passes, after 5, 6, 7 years, when people start giving him respect, he gets some post position, management, this, that, then the eagerness to listen and practice and apply doesn't remain the same as it was there in the first year.
Mhm.
So that's why uh, I have realized three things. If taught in the beginning phase of training, then in the later phase you don't have to train. Things will be taken care automatically. The three things which Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, where he explains about Narad Muni's past life, that is discipline, obedience,
Self.
and self-control. These three things. And Prabhupada writes, if these three things are not there in the life of a youth or a disciple, he can't please his spiritual master. There is no question of pleasing spiritual master. And if spiritual master is not happy, forget about going back to Godhead. And Prabhupada directly like this, write like this. That you just cannot dream of even going back to Godhead. If you and if you write, the secret of success in Krishna consciousness in folio, so many places Prabhupada writes the secret lies in pleasing the spiritual master. And here Prabhupada is writing, how can you please? By practicing these three things: discipline, obedience, and self-control. So if these three things are trained for first 5, 7, 6 years, rest all leadership qualities, training, these, that automatically comes. Like, say, the way I have been trained, that is what is my conviction in Krishna consciousness. So this is how I have been trained. In the beginning phase of my Krishna consciousness, I never even knew that in ISKCON there are so many post position and there are leadership roles and this and that. There are few, but I knew that okay, when one becomes pure devotee, he get to that post position. So for first 5 6 years, there was only focus on developing wonderful Vaishnava qualities. And based on that, with proper evaluation, my seniors eventually started giving me some roles and responsibilities. So when I turn back now, my gratitude for my superiors and senior increased even more. That how systematically and skillfully they guided me and eventually brought me today where I am. So if foundation is very strong, all other leadership and managerial qualities eventually will come anyway. And foundation becomes very strong by these things. Uh, I think Bhurijanpu or somewhere I was attending one brahmachari class long back somewhere, maybe 10 years ago. So the class started, then the senior duty asked from everyone, tell me that one reason, for which brahmachari ashram is made. So everyone said, for self-control, for this, for that, many things. At the end, he said, brahmachari ashram is made only and only to teach you obedience. That is the first and foremost reason why this ashram is made for. So, and when I started reflecting, this is really a very powerful point. If only one learn to be obedient, uh, then what is there? After that, everything he can learn. This opens the door of his heart. Then everything can go into his heart if he has developed the quality of obedience. And then along with that, yes, discipline and self-control is very important. So, from my understanding, if these three things are very properly, if it is trained right in the beginning of one's Krishna consciousness, later on he can eventually easily develop all other qualities which are required.
Very nice, Proji. Like you told, ki character and competence both are important. Both are important aspects of training, so that like youths can become leaders. But especially in the beginning years when they are more receptive, so we should especially focus on giving them very strong foundation, centered on pure devotional service, that pure devotional mood. Focus should remain the pure devotional service. One should not get distracted anywhere else. And then you mentioned from this purport of Srila Prabhupada that DOS, discipline, obedience, and self control,
Yeah.
these three qualities. So, Proji, can you please like elaborate upon these three qualities? Like how to specifically train today's generation, the Gen Z generation, into these qualities: discipline, obedience, and self control.
Say, in our Krishna consciousness, or especially in the beginning phase, uh, for youth, uh, why it is very important to do reading and hearing. These two are the most powerful ways to learn anything, in the
Mm.
beginning phase at least.
Yeah.
Later on, he will get experience and learn different things. That is okay. But in the beginning phase, reading and hearing. Because naturally, in the young age, Rajoguna is too much. You know, he has a lot of passion. Naturally, any youth, they will have a lot of passion when he is young. So, if this passion is not controlled, then this passion will become the cause of his bad habits
Mm.
and many wrong things. Like we hear many Gen Zs falling in trap to many bad habits because
Mm.
of this only, because they don't have any ways how to control our Rajoguna. You know, like Arjuna is saying, it appears sometime forcefully somebody is dragging us towards bad habit. What
Mm.
is that force? That is force of Rajoguna. You know, so sometime one find himself to be very weak in front of such gunas. They are so strong, you just can't do anything. I have seen many boys having such bad habits, but from heart to heart, they are very innocent. They're very simple. Even they don't want to do. They really feel very guilt, I don't want to do, but still somebody is pushing me, forcing me. They are very honest, sincerely wants to come out of it. So sometimes these gunas become very strong that one is not able to protect themselves. So at such point of time, therefore, for youth, it is very important to do reading and hearing, because both of these activities are in the mode of goodness. And the more and more one does reading and hearing, his passion is controlled eventually. And then it raises immediately the person to the level of goodness. So this gives me a lot of pain when I see devotees not taking interest in reading, you know, um, because this reading alone is so powerful. The power of reading is being recognized nowadays by hardcore materialists. You know, one of my friend, he's a Muslim. I have seen when it comes to the leadership qualities and management and this and that, the knowledge he has, and the way he's using it for his sense gratification is amazing. When I asked him, how is that you learned so many things? Is it that in your company they teach all this? He said, no, I like to read. So in 1 week, I finished one book. When I went to his home, I really saw so many books, and he has read all of them and he keeps sharing also. Many times I keep seeing his status and this and that. So see, he's a hardcore materialist, but a voracious reader. In 1 week, he completes one book. So that's how, even though being a youth overpowered by many rajoguna, this, that, he has used this reading skill to develop some goodness and then he has learned so many wonderful qualities. So that's how our youths who are staying in our youth center or who are connected to our temples, they must take this reading very seriously. If only this one thing is taken seriously, rest everything will follow. This discipline, obedience, everything will follow automatically. First of all, he must subdue his mind. That sit for 30 minutes and focus on this, what it is written here. Even if he is not understanding, my point is he should keep reading mechanically. Eventually, he will start understanding things. One should force himself that 30 minutes, no matter what will happen, I will read it. You know, so when one starts doing this reading and hearing sincerely, slowly, his heart, his mood, his behavior, his qualities, everything changes and he evolved to be a wonderful personality. Some few years back, I was in one meeting, ILS meeting in Mayapur. I was just like a volunteer there. So there were so many leaders from all over the world who had come there. So they did a survey over there to all the leaders. Who has read which Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada books, how many times you have read Gita, how many times you have read Bhagavatam, like that they did some survey about reading. What is the reading status of the leaders? And we were supposed to get it filled from all the leaders, collect it and enter it into the laptop and make the survey. It was so surprising. Not even the top 10 to 20% leaders are doing reading of Srila Prabhupada books. And but these leaders are the leaders of our so many places. There are people who are depending on them. There are the people taking guidance from them, and they are the one who is managing. So if you don't do reading and hearing, your mind is out of your control.
Mm.
Then management and leadership, everything will appear very, very tough, and you
Yeah.
will keep crying. I have so many things to do, what to do, this, that, you will become a completely worn out manager. you know. However, I have seen one who has kept his sadhana very intact, very strong, even though he's doing hundreds of things, many of the things are falling apart. Still, there is a beaming smile in his face and a confidence. He has no stress and he has no tension because he's really depending on Krishna. Every
Mm.
day morning he takes his dose from Srila Prabhupada books and go on for whole day fighting with Maya. So I feel this discipline, obedience, and self-control is very easy to develop if he is very attached to reading and hearing on a daily basis. And then if he is attending his morning program very strictly. And thirdly, which I have told just now, and I'll again tell, that if he is attached to some superior who is very senior and who is very sincere in his Krishna consciousness, because
Mm.
sometimes there are some tough uh, instructions which comes in our life which mind tells not to follow, but out of attachment to this superior you somehow follow it, and then things works out, and then your love and respect for the superior increases even more. So this inspirational attachment to one superior at least is very, very important in order to learn these wonderful qualities. So I have seen in my life in the process of training devotees, or the way I have got trained. These are the few aspects which has helped me a lot to develop these wonderful qualities to some extent. Yeah.
Thank you, Proji. Like these three principles you shared, three things, three that like devotees should especially focus upon their reading, hearing, reading of Prabhupada's books, hearing of the lectures of great souls. Second thing is regular morning program, steadily practicing morning program, and third thing is inspirational detachment for some senior Vaishnava. So the very crucial things. So and we see that today's generation, so they might not be so much inclined towards doing these things, but if they are trained again and again, if they are emphasized upon that these things are very important, and somehow if we can make systems for it, and we can create a culture for it, so then eventually they will be able to rise to sattva guna, and then they will be able to develop these qualities. Thank you,
See what
Prabhuji.
I have realized, uh, uh, I have been practicing Krishna consciousness from the era when there were no smartphones, you
Hmm.
know, when there were not even phones also on that time. And then I have seen all this gradual development, how the phone came, and then smartphone came, and then internet and all those things, Geo came, like that, all those things. So a big shift which I'm seeing in those days when we were practicing Krishna consciousness, when you have a free time, you have nothing to do. So what you do, you take Srila Prabhupada books and read. That's what
Hmm.
everybody is doing.
Hmm.
And you don't find any problem in doing that because that's what everybody is doing. In fact, when you see others are doing, you also feel like to do that.
Yeah.
But nowadays, because of having Android phone and then Geo mobile, Geo SIM, and then internet, and then a lot of distraction, because options are there.
Yeah.
Mind is looking for some entertainment, and you have an easy access to entertainment.
Hmm.
Anyone who really wants to train themselves, like now my son is studying in Vrindavan Gurukul, so they don't give mobile to them. That is why he is very good in studies. But the moment he comes in home, he doesn't want to study. Whole day he is there in phone, in the mobile. But the moment he is there in the school, he is studying very well. So I asked him this in this visit. I asked him, my dear son, you are studying so well when you are in school. Why don't you study when you are in home? He said, because I have no option in school to do, self gratification. I'm paraphrasing it. But in home I have a mobile, so why should I study? But there is no mobile, so he has nothing to do, so he's studying. So that's why if somebody is very sincere, no, and if there is no such a um, severe demand of such electronic gadgets, then best is that one should have this button wala mobile. This is the moment the day I have this, I started realizing I have a 48 hours in a day for me now. The time has increased. you know and then you say, people say that, Prabhu, you will not have notebook in this mobile, how to type it? No, I have a typing also. See, I have pen also and the notebook also attached to this mobile. So we have a notebook also, you can note down also if anything you want somewhere. Suddenly some plan is coming in your mind or something like that. See, there is a solution to all problems, but mind doesn't want to, take. My mind wants an easy solution. So this is a part of training. One should keep all the distractions away and force yourself to enjoy, to take enjoyment in simple things like reading and hearing. Instead of finding enjoyment in reels and Instagram and Facebook and all, if one starts finding joy in reading Prabhupada books, his life will be totally different. But
Hmm.
this is all is a training required.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Keep all the distractions away and start finding joy in simple things. So
Yeah.
not looking for instant pleasure, but looking for a long-term pleasure. So thank you. So now, Prabhuji, moving to the next question. uh, when the youths grow up, like you have been training so many youths, so how do you see that ki, Some youths, they could like they could be potential leaders. How do you identify the leadership potentials in them? Then how do you groom them eventually? Even like in character part, you have been grooming them since in the beginning foundational years, 4 5 years. But after that, how do you groom them to take up some specific responsibilities? And like even after taking responsibilities also, many times devotees face challenges. As you rightly said, ki this world is a place of distractions. One may get distracted, so one's focus may get shifted from pure devotional service, and one may start experiencing many different negative emotions, negative qualities within his heart. So, how to protect our youth leaders at that point of time? So, question is ki how to identify youth leaders, how to groom them to become leaders, and then when they face the challenges, so how to protect them.
Okay. So, uh, answering to your first question, how to identify the youth leaders. So, generally, after training for 4 to 5 6 years, uh, you start when you stay closely to them, they start exhibiting some kind of qualities which is very visible. Like in as an assistant only, if they are contributing in the field of preaching, that means he's a preacher. If he is taking interest in the field of donor cultivation, that means he's a wonderful donor cultivator.
Mm.
Uh, so actually, that is the job of a guru in the Vedic age. That's what in the Gurukul the Guruji would do. This Guruji would extend himself very close to these disciples and would try to know his innate qualities and his innate interest, and accordingly groom him to become expert in that field. You know, so that's what I have also done. I have created multiple opportunities for the youths because of having the project like Dhanbad. We have, and this is a beginning, this is the initial stage.
Hmm.
So there is a vacancy in literally all the field. No? So what you want to do, there is an opportunity for you. There is no competition. You will be directly promoted to HOD because there is no there is no HOD now. So I have realized after training for 5 6 years, if you don't give a challenging service to a youth,
Yeah.
uh, it's very difficult. It will become very difficult to accommodate him. You
Yes.
know, because now you have fed him. Now he has become like a sumo. Now he wants to wrestle with someone. You have to put him in the court and let him fight with someone. Otherwise, he will not be able to utilize his energy. And then that will make him very much frustrated. So, by Krishna's grace, somehow, the moment the youths whom I was training, the moment they become mature, exactly that time we had this project also as a challenging project. And then it was very easy for me to engage them in the services. So those who were willing to explore themselves in different field, they took up those services and they are growing.
Hmm.
In my personal life also, I have seen my superior. This is the way they actually engaged me. You know, when I was in Jamshedpur, we were the first batch. So we felt a sense of responsibility that we have to make a youth center here. So from that time only, feeling the sense of responsibility started coming
Hmm.
in the mind. Then after passing out from there, when I went to Raurkela, I was posted there. So that time Raurkela was also youth center was also not very stable. So I already had an experience of developing a youth center, being a part of it. So there also, after coming from the job, every day evening I would go to the college, train youths, guide those who are there inmates, train them also this that, and then eventually 1 year, 2 year I was there, and the Raurkela NIT Raurkela voice also became very stable. I got even more confidence. Then when I was told that you should start a coaching center, then that was another big challenge. In a city like a metropolitan city like Kolkata, where a lot of competitions are there, starting from scratch, you know, it was not a easy thing. But somehow that also worked out very well. And within 3 year we had three centers all over Kolkata, more than 1,000 students, and wonderful success came out. So what I am seeing that as I was getting trained, there were engagements ready for me. And
Mm-hmm.
these engagements were not simple engagements, these were all challenging engagements. And then when I joined, then I came to Kolkata ISKCON, then there was this Besu voice that was also almost about to get closed. And again, it was to be started from the scratch, and that also got developed. That was another very challenging project for me. So I have always been in a situation where some challenges are there for me. And now also in Dhanbad, we have a very challenging project starting from scratch. So now it got so much engraved within me that when I came to Dhanbad, then I was told by my counselor that, because you are going to a new place, uh, take some money in loan, develop your center, and after you have developed it, return that money. Then I requested Prabhu, if I'll do that, then whole of my life I'll keep thinking because I got support, that's why I developed. Let me do it from scratch on my own. I'll get develop confidence that I did it. And that's what we did. We were not having even 10 rupees to pay for auto fare just 6 years ago. And now we have two lands, and there are vehicles, and there are construction going on, and crores of rupees coming and being spent in the service of Krishna, and all those things developed. So that gave another confidence. But the moment I was about to go to comfort zone, and then suddenly this responsibility of RSA came up. 12 districts are there now. Keep developing this district. So I have always been in a very challenging environment by Krishna's mercy, and the success of all this, which I see that these projects have kept me always Krishna conscious. How much I'm able to develop the project or not, that is different thing. But the biggest success is these projects have kept me Krishna conscious. So that's what I feel, that the youth, after having the training of 4, 5, 6 years, if you could not give him a challenging environment, then the whole training and everything will collapse. He
Mm-hmm.
needs powerful engagements. He needs a sense of accomplishment in terms of developing a center or developing a youth center or developing some fund generating projects or whatever. He needs some challenging environment. So I keep putting, different devotees in my best understanding that okay, this devotee likes more preaching. So let us put him in some youth preaching project. This devotee is very good in talking and grooming people. So let us keep him in some donor cultivation. He will talk to donors very nicely. So, in my understanding, whatever I feel best for the youths, I put them in that situation. And then when they face problem there, I try to give some guidance on based on my experience and training I have got. Ah, but if they feel kind of distraction, generally another this is very important question you have asked. Sometimes when you trust them like this, then they get distracted, and then the person who has given him responsibility may feel very discouraged. Arey, I gave him this service and then he got distracted. How to trust now the boys whether to give him responsibilities or not? So I'll tell you one small story. Hope you are on time, no?
Yes, 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 Prabhuji. We
I'll tell
have
you a small story.
we have few more minutes, Prabhuji. Then after that, we will open the floor for audience to ask questions.
Okay, okay. So once what happened? There was one Guruji and his disciple. They were going village to village. So one evening they went to one village. So and they decided to stay at a home. In that home, when they were taking dinner, so this Guruji asked from this owner of this house, how do you maintain yourself? You look to be very poor. He said that, oh my dear Guruji, I have almost 20 acres of land. So the moment Guruji heard 20-acre land you have, and you are still so poor. Why? He said, I am alone in my life. Who will do cultivation in this land? Who will take care? It's so headache, so anxiety things. That's why this land is kept like that. Maybe someday I'll do something. Then Guruji asked, then, but how do you maintain yourself? He said, I have one buffalo outside, you must have seen. This buffalo gives me milk. And from that milk, I'm able to get my 2 times food. And how much do I need? I'm able to maintain. Like that, Guruji heard everything. That night they slept. In the middle of the night, Guruji got up and said to the disciple, "Come on, we will leave now only. Don't wake up this owner. We'll leave." So in the middle of the night, they ran away from that house. But when they were leaving, Guruji told to the disciple, "You take out this buffalo. We will take it. We will steal it." So the disciple was feeling very uncomfortable. Guruji is stealing the buffalo. This buffalo is the only source of income for this poor man. And why Guruji is behaving like this today? So he was very confused, but he could not ask. So Guruji took the buffalo along with him, and while they were going through a mountain, Guruji, pushed this buffalo up from the mountain, and this buffalo died, and they ran away from there. After many many long years, the disciple, after getting graduation, he went and he became married, and then he developed. Then Guruji left this world. This disciple was always having this lurking in his heart that, I did a wrong activity. I played with the life of someone. I don't know with what mood Guruji said, but I must rectify my mistake. So after Guruji passed away, he went back to the village, trying to meet with that man, that poor man. But now he saw that this man has become very rich. He is a jamindar in that village. So when he asked how it all happened, so then this Jamindar Prabhu is telling, "Oh, that dark night I can never forget in my life, the day all of you came. I don't know, after you all went away, somebody stole away my buffalo. And then later on, I found it was dead, there in the mountain. So then I had no source for income. I had nothing to eat in my life. I had no other option. All I had was this 20-acre land. I was forced to do some cultivation in order to maintain myself. And when I started cultivation, then things started growing. I started getting so much money. Now I have 200 acres of land here. I am the big Jamindar." Then this disciple realized, oh, this Guruji, by stealing his buffalo, bestowed a blessing upon him. If because this man was satisfied with that 1 liter of milk which he was getting from the buffalo and he was living life like that. So Guruji troubled him, and brought him out from his comfortable state to make him uncomfortable. And then he worked hard, and now he's a powerful zamindar in the whole city. So sometime this is what a leader has to do for some youth. They are so comfortable in their life. They are they need to be given such a challenging. They'll cry. No doubt they will surely cry. But you put them and keep supervising and watching from behind. And eventually you'll find they are growing. So the point is we need to trust on these youths. If you don't trust them, uh, I'll tell you the way Srila Prabhupada trusted his disciples. Just the 3 month, 4 month old disciples. And Srila Prabhupada gave such a challenging services, say very powerful services. So I have seen, even I was not having faith that if I'll give this service to this boy, he will be able to do. But when I gave, he did more than my expectation. So somehow I have seen these Gen Zs, this new generation boys, they are more than our expectation. We need to trust over them. According to our old culture, no, the boys were to be kept supervised and protected and controlled from everywhere. And but these Gen Zs, they don't like to be very much controlled, to be very much micromanaged and guided like that. You just give some guidelines and give your goals and expectation and responsibility and leave them. They will do more than your expectation. So I have realized trusting them is one of the very big secret to empower them.
Mm.
That's how they get empowered. When they feel that this person has trusted me, they also get a sense of responsibility that I should not break this trust by getting deviated or distracted. Now when I'm in Dhanbad, when my superiors have sent me here, even for a moment I feel like to comfort myself. Immediately the feeling comes, what my superior will think. This is what they have sent me here in Dhanbad. So because they trusted me a lot, so I feel a sense of responsibility towards them. That what's protect me from getting distracted. So seniors trusting their juniors is one of the very important aspect which needs to be practiced in leadership so that juniors gets empowerment.
Hmm.
If I have trained very well, they should not get distracted so easily. I should have confidence on my training. The kind of experience of Krishna consciousness I have given to this boy, even if he leaves, he will come back. That much confidence we should have. You know, the kind of experience of Krishna consciousness I have given, he will never ever get anywhere in the life. Even if he goes, he will surely come back because this experience he will never get anywhere. So this level of trust and confidence we should have. Then this accordingly say, if you see a youth as a leader, he will become a leader. If you see a youth as a worker, he will become a worker. If you see a youth as a manager, he will become a manager.
Yeah.
So what you are seeing in him, that is how you are behaving with him, and that's what he will become. So this is very important aspect in grooming and trusting and empowering the subordinates to take up the leadership role.
Hmm. Thank you, Proji. Like Srila Prabhupada, he would see potential in devotees, different potentials. So I heard that some Prabhupada disciples they would say ki even our parents and government they were and even we ourselves we were also not able to see any good potential in us.
हम अपना एक बार चेक करेंगे हाँ
Hare Krishna. So, but Srila Prabhupada saw in us something which we were also not able to see.
Yeah.
So Prabhupada saw that potential, he fanned it, and then he trusted devotees and he kept supervising. So very nice, Prabhuji, very beautiful. So I I wanted that this conversation should go on and on and on. I had some more questions also to ask Proji, but I'll just conclude the questions which we had with a rapid fire round. So so the first set of questions which I would be asking. So we'll be having two options, Prabhuji, and then amongst those two options you can choose one, whatever comes to your mind naturally. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam versus Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Ganga versus Yamuna.
Yamuna.
Book distribution versus Harinam Sankirtan.
Okay. Uh, Book distribution.
Hari Bol. Cultivating new youths versus taking care of existing boys.
Taking care of existing boys.
Mayapur versus Jagannath Puri.
Mayapur.
Khichdi versus Aloo Paratha.
Khichdi.
Fruit custard versus butter halwa.
Which
Fruit,
custard? Fruit
fruit
custard.
custard versus butter halwa.
Uh, Fruit custard.
Fruit custard. Thank you, Proji. Now, another question. So, I'll be speaking one word. So, whatever comes to your mind as soon as you hear that word, so you can speak that. Shla Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada is my life and soul.
Hari Bol. NIT Jamshedpur.
NIT Jamshedpur is my birthplace.
Dhanbad.
Dhanbad is my dharm kshetra.
Dharmshed. Kolkata.
Kolkata is my worshipable place.
Jai. IIYC.
IIYC is my future.
Jai. Jagannath Swami.
Jagannath Swami, uh, he is my worshipable Lord in Dhanbad.
Hari Bol. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj.
His Holiness Jayapataka Swami is a miracle for me, uh, who is going to meet Srila Prabhupada, and he is right there in front of us. It's a really miracle living on this earth till date.
Jai. His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj.
Radhanath Swami Maharaj is a great source of inspiration in regards, especially in regards how to deal with devotees.
Jai. Hari Bol. So thank you so much, Proji. So now I would like to open the floor for audience to ask questions. So if any devotees have questions, they can either raise their hands. So I'll unmute the devotees and devotees can ask questions, or devotees can write a message in the chat box also. So we'll take it from there. Any questions? So meanwhile, when the devotees are ready with the questions, so one short question from you, Prabhuji. What are some non-negotiable qualities which a leader should definitely have?
What are the non-negotiable qualities a leader should have? Is what I feel. He's being a wonderful example of being a very sincere devotee. Mhm. If he is not a good example, that is the greatest disservice in the
Hmm.
mission of Srila Prabhupada, which I feel. That is non-negotiable. That is not at all tolerated. So many places Srila Prabhupada, whether his letters or books or everywhere, he has expected that my devotees must be a very good example, especially being a sadhu. People expect us to behave in a proper way. If we are ourselves not a very good example, then we are not fit to be a leader. We should never take a leadership role. First, we should work on ourselves. Otherwise, that's an injustice with the post and position which we are which we are accepting. And mm, being a wonderful example, the first and foremost requirement is to being a wonderful, sincere devotee. We should be very sincere for our sadhana. If I am very much inspired for my cause, if I am very much honest with what I am practicing, then I'll be honest with everything. I'll be honest with my post and position, with my responsibilities, with my commitments, with my leadership roles. But if in the name of leadership or management, I'm compromising with sadhana, that means I am not up to my commitments to myself only. Then how can I fulfill the commitments which I have given to others? So first of all, our first responsibility is to fulfill the commitment which I have given to myself. That is to do proper sadhana, morning program, reading, hearing, basic sadhanas every day consistently. If that is done and one is a very good example, he can be a very good leader. No problem, even if he is lacking some skills and talents, that eventually he will learn because of his sincerity.
Hmm. Thank you, Prabhuji. So any devotees have any questions or any comments?
There is only one question: when the session will end?
So there is one question from Sanoj Prabhu. How to stay focused even though our duties all around technology, phone and laptop all the time?
Just a minute. How to how to stay focused? Okay, even though our duty is all around technology, phone, laptop, all the time. Okay, this is a very wonderful question. I would like to answer this by giving you one small analogy. Or I will paraphrase this question first. Recently, one devotee came and asked, "Hey, Prabhu, a lot of politics going on in ISKCON, a lot of backbiting and criticism going on in ISKCON. I can see that this particular in charge is not good. This particular authority is doing some politics and this and that. Many things he said, and then I'm feeling very discouraged and not very inspired. So then I requested him, okay, fine. Now I give you one small ball, you know, and I give you one spoon. Put this spoon in your mouth and balance this ball on that spoon, and then go around this ISKCON. You know, have a trip and come back. This ball should not fall. You have to balance it. What will happen? He said, Prabhuji, it will fall for some time. I said, okay, fine. You keep it back again and again go for a walk. So after you come back, and if I ask you, tell me what was happening around, you know, what was there any politics going on around? Was there any criticism or backbiting going on around? What will be your answer? You will have no chance, no time to look around what is happening because your full focus and attention is only on this ball that it should not fall on the ground because you are busy balancing this ball on the spoon. That is what focus we should have on our Krishna consciousness when we are there in this organization. When you are this focused, you will not even come to know what is happening around, which is of having no relationship with you. Otherwise, if you
Mm.
keep looking all these things, then you'll feel
Yeah.
distracted.
Yes.
Just like Dronacharya when he asked Arjuna, so what are you seeing? This Arjuna is only seeing the eyes of the bird. There are eggs around, there are nests around, there are leaves around, there are stems around, there are trees around, but he's not able to see anything.
Mm.
To the extent this Dronacharya is asking, are you able to see me or not? I'm your Guruji standing here. He said, sorry Guruji, I'm not able to see you also now. He's so focused. Huh? This is the focus we need to our Krishna consciousness, to practice our Krishna consciousness. If we don't take interest in reading, hearing, chanting, this, that, then again, this technology will swap our energy, this distractions will take away our attention and energy. So my request is, we may remain surrounded by technology and this and that. If you can tap the morning hours, that is morning 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. If you can tap the energy of this 3 to 9, whole day you remain surrounded by technology. Nothing can, harm you. Nothing can disturb you. If you are very attentive and sincere at 3 to 9, this is the most powerful tools which Srila Prabhupada has given us to remain protected even while being in the city of Maya, surrounded by distractions. Problem is never in the technology or in the things which are there around. Problem is in our lose focus on our goal.
Mm.
So increase the focus of your goal, all other things will automatically become very faint.
Mm.
Say, my background is blur, that's why you're able to see me properly. You know, so make everything blur by uh, keeping your Krishna consciousness very much clear. So make it clear, everything will become blur. Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, one more question is from Gaur Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam. What if some devotee lack character and competence both at the same time? Both at the same time have gone through so much opposite things than Krishna consciousness, but they now want to improve and always wanted to become a pure devotee, as you said. But due to lack of good association or training, this happened. But now what to do? Can they never improve or come out of that past sins and guilts of doing things opposite to Krishna consciousness and not able to follow instructions?
Okay. So I'll give you two understanding of it. From there are two ways to understand this. I'll tell you. There is one. If you ask from a materialistic scientific point of view, I'll tell you. Uh, I was recently getting some leadership training. There I got to hear this. There is one devotee. He's a very senior devotee. Uh, he was telling he was a brain surgeon. So he was telling the structure of the brain and how it works. So he was telling that when you practice something in your life, good or bad, whatever you practice, you can never forget in your life. That remains in your brain imprinted forever. It can never go away. That's a scientific fact, and that's how it works. So now somebody can say, "Oh, I developed a bad habit. That means I can never give away." No. How it works? When these old habits have become hardwired in your brain, now in order to make it faint, you have to form another very good habit over it.
Mhm.
Then these bad habits will become overpowered by these good habits which we have developed. So even from a materialistic scientific point of view, this is proven that at any point of time in your life, you can always change yourself. One can never say that now I cannot do anything. Bhakti, now I'm telling you spiritual point of view. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, hopelessness is a sign of atheism. You know, only an atheistic who has not faith on God can tell अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता. You know, only an atheist can tell. क्या नहीं हो सकता भगवान, if Lord wants, what cannot happen in one, it takes one moment for him to turn the whole situation. You know, this whole Kauravas army, hmm, they were laughing and jumping because Arjuna had taken vow, by evening if I don't kill Jayadratha, I will put myself in fire. And now it's evening and he could not kill Jayadratha. Why? Because Jayadratha did not come for fight that day. तो उसको कौरवों ने एक कमरे में बंद करके आया, बोला तुम यहीं रहना, निकलना मत. And then whole day Arjuna and Krishna, they kept searching Jayadratha all around the battlefield. They didn't get. Now it's evening time. Now the fire is there. Arjuna has to enter into it. All the Pandavas are morose and upset. What is this? Arjuna has to die now because he has taken vow. Jayadratha is not killed. He has to put himself in fire. And all the Kauravas are laughing. All the Kauravas are laughing. You know, all the Kauravas were laughing except for one person. Who was he? He was Shakuni. He was not laughing. He was very serious. Now, why was he serious? He was very serious by seeing Krishna smiling. He was thinking all Pandavas are upset. Arjuna is about to die. Why Krishna is smiling? That means there is something wrong. And that was giving anxiety to Shakuni. He was thinking all around, Kya hai? What has he done? Let me think and understand. Because why Krishna is smiling? He was knowing the nature of the demoniac people. This Jayadratha there in the room could not hold on to himself. He broke open the lock and sat on the horse and started running fast. Wait, 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 I'm coming. I want to see live telecast of Arjuna going into the fire. And then Krishna is waiting. The moment Jayadratha came, Krishna turned the whole situation 180 degree. He removed his chakra, and then they saw that it is not yet, sun has not yet set, and Jayadratha is there, and Krishna is telling Arjuna, here is a Jayadratha, now you can kill him. Now, what is the situation? All the Pandavas are smiling and joyful, and all Kauravas became morose. How much time it took for Krishna to turn the whole situation? So, one can never be hopeless in his life. One should have a lot of faith on Krishna, keep practicing sincerely. One may be in a situation that is not having association, this, that, but what is there in his hand? What is there in his hand is to have a sincere desire, looking for association. Just have this intense, sincere desire. You will see in your life things will start acting in such a way that you will get association. When intensely we are desiring something, offering prayers to Krishna, no, the things around us started adjusting in such a way that ultimately you will get what you are sincerely desiring. So we should never become hopeless. By sincere practice of Krishna consciousness, all the previous impressions and everything can go away, and you can emerge out to be a pure devotee. We have many examples. Valmiki was a dacoit, and Mrigari was a dangerous hunter, and many examples are there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So there are some more questions which we have received from devotees, but I would like to beg forgiveness from all the participants. So we are over time now. So I'm very, very sorry to the devotees whose questions are here in the chat. So, and I would like to thank Prabhuji, His Grace Nam Prem Prabhu, for taking out time and sharing his association with all of us. So, I troubled Prabhuji a lot, multiple times. He was very busy, extremely busy, but still, Prabhuji gave his time today. And especially for me, also, it was very nourishing. I made many notes also. So for I also very much felt benefited by your association, Prabhuji. And I could see in you a very sincere sadhaka and a person who is genuinely committed for pleasing Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada representatives, and very genuine in one's approach towards one's devotees whom you are cultivating, and the team which you have created. That is the secret of your success. So, and very wonderful and nuggets of wisdom Prabhuji shared from Prabhupada's purports and different senior Vaishnavas exchanges which you had in your own life, and you shared many wonderful examples substantiating the answer which you had given from your own lives also. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for being here today in at this
Apurva
IFS.
Gopal bro, I am feeling very much inspired by being in touch of you. This was such a wonderful conversation. You please pray for me. I request all the devotees. I have spoken very big things. I don't know how much I'm practicing. But yes, if all of you will bless and pray, I'll surely practice some of it. My life will be perfect. But I'm really feeling very much blessed and feeling so satisfied being in the company of so many devotees. I never expected more than 50 devotees are attending the seminar. I thought most of them would be watching it in YouTube, when it will come there. But I could see that so many devotees coming and sincerely hearing. I'm really very grateful to you that even to a useless person, worthless person, you could take out some benefit and help these devotees. I'm very thankful. I'm feeling so honored to be in this August assembly. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we thank all the devotees for being here with all of us for this IFSC podcast. Hare Krishna. Shila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Naam Prem Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.